It's been a bit since I last played this game. Been having life stuff, you know, moving and the like, so... But we're ready. I can pick up where we left off, certainly. We're on Chapter 6, Existence. Review the plot thus far. Yeah, you know what? That'll actually be pretty helpful for me. Because again, I haven't played this game in probably over a month. Iesuke Sasaki, age 15, was found dead with a paper bag with a smiley face drawn on it over his head. The scene was similar to those of unsolved murders from 18 years ago, as well as the urban legend of the Smiling Man. Detective Kuze asks you to come to the police station. You arrive in time to hear the forensics analysis results of the paper bag. Isuke's bag matches two bags used in the old murders. Only the first victim's, Ayaka Hashizume's, differs. Within a few days, it seems like everyone in the world is caught up in a Smiling Man fad. The talk shows sensationalize the Smiling Man and connect his legend to the Iesuke Sasaki case. Inspector Kamada asks you to search for a man missing for 18 years. You're unable to get any more information from him than that. Meanwhile, Yumi visits Megumi Morimoto's home. And that is where we are. Okay, hello. You are someone's mother, I think, as I recall. Let's ask you stuff. How's Megumi doing? Megumi's locked herself in her room, and she's refusing to talk to anyone. Okay, that's odd behavior for sure. Anything else? So your daughter's a bit weird. Is that a normal thing or is this new? Is she feeling okay? She's not sick. She is in shock, depressed. Which is, you know, not surprising after what happened to Suke. Okay. So they were close? I hear? She and Iesuke have been close since they were little. They were just like brother and sister. They certainly argued as much as siblings. Every time they argued, she would get so angry. She'd say, "Mom, I can't stand him." Then, just as quick as she'd calm down and be her usual self. It was strange, I guess, but they're also just kids. They're so close, Iesuke and my Megumi. I still can't believe what happened. Okay. Any observations? Right now, I'm just worried about Megumi. Fair, that is your primary responsibility here, I suppose. Let's look around at, let's look at these photos. That's a picture of the family. I can't tell where it was taken. It's hard to see much from here, but they look like a happy family. It's probably a great memory for all of them. We'll use the phone. It's rude to call someone now. Fair point. Alright, let's engage about Megumi. Do you think I could speak with Megumi? Or is it Megumi or Megumi? I'm not sure. No, I'm sorry you've come all this way. Oh, it's okay. Mrs. Morimoto's on edge. Iesuke and Megumi were good friends, so this must be hard on her too. Let's think about this. I have to hear from Megumi's mom. Okay, so how is your daughter? Iesuke and Megumi were so close. They were more like brother and sister than friends. Any further observations? Right now, I'm just worried with Megumi. What about Yusuke? I don't know much about what happened to Yusuke, only what I've seen on the news. I can't bring myself to talk to Yusuke's mother about it. I suppose that's fair. I mean, different people respond differently to trauma and grief, so who am I to say what is or is not the right way to handle this situation? I'm afraid to talk to her at all. Sure about that? I only noticed it on the news. I have to hear from Megumi's mom. I should be paying attention to Megumi's mom right now. Yes, so about Megumi. Okay, yes, I'm aware they're like siblings. Observations. There's still no clue as to who did it, is there? No, we don't know anything yet. I hope they're found soon. No one can feel safe until the monster that did this is caught. But that's why we have detectives, isn't it? Yeah, of course. She's expecting a lot out of me. Anything else? Yes? I imagine detectives must talk to lots of people. Yeah, certainly not a job for those with, like, social anxiety, I guess. Oh yeah, it helps to talk to everyone we can. I thought so. Of course, if there's anything you don't feel comfortable talking about, please say so. No, that's not it. I mean... I'm sorry, I've never talked to a detective before. I was just curious. Is there... Do you want to know something? Everything I know about detectives I've learned from TV shows. Okay, well... Should be paying attention. Yes, of course. Any further observations? Are those good shows you watched? Sorry, I shouldn't ask silly questions to distract you from Isuke's case. But Megumi, she can ask silly questions if she wants. Can you tell me about how Megumi has been the past few days? Sure. Megumi was absent from school the day his body was found. That checks out. I already knew that she wasn't at school for the morning assembly. But how'd she know about the murder before it was announced? The school called out Isuke. I told Megumi right away. Okay. She turned pale, started shaking. She ran and locked herself in a room. I could hear her crying. She's not been herself ever since. Interesting. I was so careful with how I told her about Isuke, but... What did you tell her specifically? It's so terrible. How is Megumi? She hasn't been back to school since. Oh, really? She doesn't even come out of her room. I leave food at her door, but she either won't eat it or she barely touches it. Well, that's a health concern, isn't it? She's avoiding everyone. Won't talk to me or her father. Yeah, that's no good. No. She's always been so full of life, so bright, happy. Not even eating, that's odd. I was so careful how I told her about Isuke, but... Megumi has been absent from school since the day Suki's body was found. Just as Fukuyama said. But her mom says that she wasn't feeling ill. Well, that's not really a contradiction, necessarily. Like, I'm not saying everyone would, like, have to take a couple days off for, like, grieving, but I think if you're close to the person, it's certainly excusable at the very least, if not potentially outright expected. So why did she stay home that day? Okay, Ayumi is a soulless automaton with no human emotions confirmed. We'll ask about it, though. Hey, why do you let your daughter stay home if she didn't even have a real illness? Grieving. I'm not even one that's, like, usually super, like... How do I put this? Super conscious about, like, mental health. But even I think it's reasonable to take a couple days off if, you know, you've lost someone. She said Megumi was absent from school the day Isuki was found. Yes. Why'd she miss that day of class? Your daughter is truant and a failure in life, you know that? Jeez. Was there any reason to be concerned about her on that day? A reason to be concerned? You mean other than, like, her best friend having passed literally the day before? No, aside from that, nothing. So yeah, what was your excuse? Why did you let your daughter skip out on class? You're a terrible mother. A reason to be concerned, yes. Well, what was the reason? Let's see. It wasn't just that something was wrong on that day. Megumi had been acting strange the day before, too. You mean the day she witnessed the murder? Since the day before? She seemed depressed, so I asked her what was wrong. But she wouldn't say anything, she just went straight to her room. Oh. Megumi seemed calmer the next morning, but she never took a bath and she stayed home from school. So she seemed calmer in the morning until she found out, I thought maybe she'd had a bad day and that's all I was sort of relieved, really. Then I got the call from the school. About Yusuke. It's so terrible. Do you know what Megumi might have been up to the day before? No, she didn't say anything about it. Do you have any suspicions? Megumi is a class representative, so it must be causing some trouble for her to be gone. I'm telling you, man! So get your truant daughter back to class! It's parents like you that make me wish I had gotten into the field as a CPS agent instead of just a run-of-the-mill detective. Letting your daughter skip out on classes just because her best friend died? You think that's an excuse to not go to class? Not with that written permission from the teacher at the very least. Anyways, yeah, she's a class representative. I imagine other students in her class will be helping along with her homeroom teacher. Homeroom teacher? So, yes, Megumi is a student in my class, and she's a class representative. Megumi has been absent, so I wouldn't know. Oh, we have a new topic. About Fukuyama. Her homeroom teacher is Mr. Fukuyama, right? Yes, that's correct. He works closely with the students. He's always there for them. Since Megumi's class representative, Mr. Fukuyama depends on her more than most. Suppose that makes sense. Those duties would have them working together after school sometimes, too. I see. Not inherently suspicious. Not inherently unsuspicious either. I see. Any observations about the man? You trust him? Trust him with your life, with your daughter's life, perhaps? I'm sure she's causing a lot of trouble by not going to school. Do you know Mr. Fukuyama very well? He wants to give Megumi a ride home because it was getting late. What a gentleman. He's polite, dependable, young, and his students seem to love him. She used to tell me how handsome he was. She said he was like an actor from a TV show. Huh? I mean, he's not that good looking. She says he's always there for his students. Once she said he was like a cool teacher on TV. Is that the Fukuyama I know? Like an actor, a model. Fukuyama seems to have a good reputation. I should be paying attention. Yes, of course. So Megumi was fond of this teacher. Ever since what happened to Isuke. Megumi stopped talking. She used to be such a chatterbox. She used to tell me everything. My husband and I don't know what she's thinking or how to talk to her. At least until today. What changed today? Until today. How has Megumi been today? She finally came out of her room a bit earlier, around lunchtime. Oh. Yeah, she took a shower, then came to the kitchen. And thank goodness, too. That girl, she reeked. Sticking up the place. But now things are under control. I asked her if she was hungry. She didn't say anything, just gave me a nod. I made her some lunch, but she just picked at it. Still, I was relieved to see her eating anything at all. But then, Megumi just sat there, looking kind of lost and sad. But I still think she was doing a great job of making herself get up and move. I wanted to say something, but what am I supposed to say? It was so uncomfortable. Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in, that's for sure. I don't know what else to do, so I turned on the TV. You moron! Yes, you turned on the TV with, round-the-clock coverage of the murder that has your daughter traumatized. That's not gonna backfire. There was a show on about urban legends, and I guess you'd say the occult. So I just left it on for my daughter, who was currently in the middle of being traumatized by a murder with ties to an urban legend and the occult. What could go wrong? They said it was a special episode. Yes, in light of the murder my daughter witnessed, probably. Oh. I was curious, and Megumi didn't seem to mind, so I left it on. There's a meme of people who are like, oh, this person has no self-preservation instinct. This woman has no parenting instinct. Like, what the heck? I mean, even if it wasn't specifically a murder about, like, urban legends and the occult, I don't want some sort of creepy nonsense that probably involves, death, hauntings, and the like. After I'm, like, days removed from my friend being murdered. Like, you know, put on, I don't know, Barney, My Little Pony or something. Like, something light. You know, a Disney film, Pixar, you know? Probably not one of, like, the recent ones, because their stuff from, like, the 2000s was generally better, but, you know. Get some, like, get some Monsters, Inc. or Finding Nemo on there or something. She's usually interested in shows like that. Every summer vacation, she'll sit and watch hours of the stuff. Okay, I guess your decision is a bit more defensible now. They talked about the legend of the Smiling Man. I'd never heard of it, but Megumi was very interested. Then I don't know why, but they suddenly started... Oh, I swear it was at Isuki. Oh no, and Megumi was watching. I tried to turn off in a hurry, but Megumi... Congratulations, you re-traumatized your child. That'll be another, like, several tens of thousands of dollars in therapy expenses. I hope you're ready to absorb that. Can you speak to any past incidents involving the Smiling Man? Well, the oldest example would have been from around 20 years ago. Some people say the recent incident in... Hold on a moment. Normally I'd have the piffy retort of like, who's calling me at midnight? But I guess I'm streaming at like 8 in the morning, so yeah. Some people say the recent incident in Kafuku City may have been the Smiling Man's doing. Word is the victim, a boy, had a paper bag over his head, much like in the stories of the Smiling Man. Though remember, the Smiling Man is only an urban legend. It would be poor taste to continue that thought. They were talking about a boy in Kafuku City. That could only be Eisuke, right? Yeah, I think so. Life is tragic enough. They don't need to use scary stories to make it worse. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You'd think there'd be more responsibility on the part of the reporting there, but, you know. If it gets clicks, it gets greenlit. Anyways. The Toru Sawa was right, it's tasteless. Well, yeah, but I mean, he's kind of at fault here, isn't he? Didn't he bring it up? Like, you can't say, like, you can't be that guy who's like, oh man, you know, these murders, they're... You know, so people are saying, not me, but people are saying that these murders may have been caused by a potentially demonic, potentially yokai sort of threat. Now, it would be in terrible taste to say that, but people are saying it. I'm just telling you what people are saying. You know, don't hold me responsible for the content of what I'm saying. I'm just reporting the fact that people are saying it. I guess this is how urban legends grow, huh? Well then, so... She finally came out of her room. But I was too careless. Yeah, this is really on you. I mean, I think anyone could have seen that coming from a mile away. She shut herself in her room again. She doesn't need to respond when I call to her. I just don't know what to do anymore. Do you think there's anything you can do for her, detective? I'd have to talk to her. Can you get me in her room? What is it? Let's click on this. From the sound of it, Megumi won't be meeting up with anyone for a while. I don't expect I'd get much if I tried to talk to her. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I don't think there's anything I can do for her right now. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try to interview one of our main witnesses. It might take some time, but I'm certain Megumi will be fine. She's just got a lot that she's trying to process. Be patient with her. Whatever you do, don't blame yourself for how she's feeling. Though you did totally re-traumatize her, you know. What use is lingering on that thought? Megumi wouldn't like that. Thank you, Detective. Hopefully we have good news about the investigation soon. Thank you. By the way, your family photo is lovely. What? Oh, this one. Yes, you all look so happy. Thank you. We were at an amusement park that day. Miku's a sweet girl with a bright smile. I bet everyone likes her. That was just a rumor, but I can see why the boys would fight over her. I feel like now I need to focus on taking care of her until she can smile like that again. Well, good talking to you. Not sure we actually learned that much here, but thanks. I guess that's about all I can tell you. Eh? Well, I'm sorry, I feel like I didn't help much, and you came all this way. Indeed, I did, yes. No, I'm happy to have made the trip. You've been very helpful. Really? That's good. I'm the one who feels like I haven't been any help to you. No, Detective, not at all. You made me feel better about all of this. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Well, bye. What is it? Alright, I guess I'll think on this. She says she's okay, but is she really? I should leave. Right, how do I leave? Travel, yes. Alright, to the agency. Pardon me, ma'am. Yes. I admit I'm worried about Megumi, but I'm also worried about you. If you dwell on these dark things too much, they'll eat you up. It's sweet of you to be worried. Oh, right. Eh? Speaking of worrying last night, Koe called Megumi. Who's that? Detective, do you know Koe? No. Should I? Koe Takaguchi, the kids at Minami Daisen Junior High School mentioned him. You sounded worried about Megumi. Told Megumi he was on the phone, but she didn't pick up. I don't know, maybe that's why she finally came out of her room today. I guess now that I think about it, the only people who called for her were Mr. Fukuyama and Koe. I really wish I remembered who Koe was. Okay, well... Who is this Koe? I've heard Koe's name, but I don't know any more than that. But you've heard the name. You really are quite the detective. Oh. He's another classmate of Megumi's. They've been friends since elementary school. Koya would go out to play with Megumi and Yusuke all the time. Interesting. I wonder how he's holding up. Did Megumi, Yusuke, and Koya hang out together much recently? Occasionally, but less than when they were in elementary school. Has there been any trouble between the three of them? No, nothing like that as far as I know. But they're all at that age when they want to live their own lives. They don't tell their moms everything like they used to. So who knows what they get up to once they're out of sight? Perhaps murder, even. Or getting murdered at the very least. That was insensitive to the agency. If you want, you're welcome to come back. Maybe you can speak to Megumi then. Thank you. I'd love to come back. Okay. Should probably pursue this Kohei lead, I suppose. The Itsuge Detective Agency. We're back. I'm back. Ayumi, good to see you. Did you get anything from Megumi's mother? Yeah, here's everything I heard. Okay, thanks. Ayumi told me in detail about Megumi's state of mind. Her grief at the sudden loss is understandable, especially given how close she was to Yusuke. Ayumi and I began talking about a question she had after the interview. I don't know what happened to Megumi the day before Yusuke's body was found. I'm willing to bet she knows something. Like, she was probably present for the murder or something like that. I don't know. It's such strange timing, I mean. So something happened, but by the next morning she was calm and decided to take the day off? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just means that whatever happened, it wasn't serious? Seems unlikely. When the school called about Yusuke, she locked herself in her room. Maybe whatever happened the day before is related to Yusuke. I wonder. Maybe I should talk to Mr. Fukuyama again and see what he thinks. Though he didn't have any answers before, what should I do? I mean, I guess here's the thing. In absence of any other leads, it makes sense. I think we probably have better leads to pursue at the moment. Well, hold on. He might know. Now that we know specifics about, we want to dig into Megumi's day prior to the body being found. Like, she's in his class. He actually probably knows some stuff about that. Like, now that we have a specific thing we want to target, like, hey, this girl in your class, what was going on the day before this body was found? And we can really drill in on that. It's actually, I hate to say it, but it's actually probably worth talking to him again. It's probably worth talking to him again. Yeah, that would be the right call, wouldn't it? Yeah. Maybe I should just let him gather some more info first? I guess we can talk to him anytime. If he figures anything out, I'm sure he'll let me know. He'll invite me back to his favorite cafe. Oh. We can use a phone. Call the office. Dang, Ayumi might get mad at me. What if I should phone Ayumi? I should listen to her. But why not over the phone? We got these phones. We gotta use them. Okay. Did you find out anything else? Well, Megumi finally poked her head out of her room this morning. Too bad it was just in time to see that TV show about urban legends. That same one that we saw. That's bad timing. Yeah. So she heard them talk about how the boy killed in Kufuku City. And anyone who knows Adesuki would figure it out. After that, she went back to her room and hasn't come out. Her mom's having a hard time too, but I feel so bad for Megumi. She just keeps getting hurt, doesn't she? I really hope she finds a way through it. Oh yeah! Koya called Megumi after she locked herself in her room. Kohei Takaguchi was also friends with Isuki, right? Yep, but Megumi wouldn't pick up the phone to speak to him. I see. I'm worried about Megumi. Let's think about this. There's a lot to think about, but I'm most curious about what could have upset Megumi the day of Isuki's murder. Yeah, but the only person who can tell us that is Megumi. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with Isuki. Oh. Oh. Who could it be? It's Fukuyama. Ah. Hello, this is Tachibana. What's going on, senpai? What? Megumi is missing? No! That woman's a terrible mother. You just leave your kid locked in the room? Like I get the idea of like, oh, the kid's having a rough time. You give him some space or whatever. You just let him lock himself. You don't even enter the room. You leave the food on the doorstep. Huh? Yes, I understand. Be careful. Megumi's gone missing. Her mother called the police. Mr. Fukuyama's on his way to speak to her now. We should go too. Yeah.